White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, the long-awaited Avatar Fire and Ash arrives in cinemas 3 years after The Way of Water. The film is the third film in the Avatar series and takes place a year after the events of Way of Water. In this film, after settling in with the Metcaina tribe, Jake and Nyseri are still struggling with grief over their son's death when they encounter an aggressive new Na'vi clan called the Manguan clan, who have allied with Jake's enemy Quaritch as the conflict on Pandora escalates to devastating consequences. James Cameron once again directs this film with actors Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang and Kate Winslet, among others, reprising their roles from the previous films, and they're joined by Una Chaplin and David Thewlis. Be warned, the film is 197 minutes long, so that's 3.25 hours, so it's longer than the previous two films. There's been a lot of downturn in critical. This is the worst critically response to the Avatar films. Films with critics praising the cinematic spectacle, but they're criticising the storytelling and repetitiveness. Avatar Fire and Ash is in cinemas now. Last weekend, Wake Up Dead Man was released on Netflix. The film is the third film in the Knives Out film series and stars Daniel Craig reprising his role as private detective Benoit Blanc. And he's joined in this film by another ensemble cast including Josh Brolin, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Jeremy Renner, among others. In this installment, Benoit Blanc heads to a rural community when the priest of the community dies in an enclosed space and the assistant priest is the prime suspect. So the film had received over 90% positive reviews from critics, but I'm less kind. I thought that whilst Daniel Craig was great in this film, but other than that, the film is too ambitious, too theatrical, and ultimately a waste of talent and ideas. I gave the film 2.5 stars out of 5. This week, The Long Walk was released on home video. The film is an adaptation of the 1979 novel written by Stephen King and is set in a dystopian 1970s where 50 young men, one from each American state, who compete in an annual televised walking marathon where each boy must walk non-stop for days at a pace of 3 miles per hour. Otherwise, they get executed one by one until only one remains. The film stars Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Judy Greer and Mark Hamill. So I watched the film for the first time this week, and I thought that the film was unflinchingly brutal, but at its core it was a tale of the friendship that develops between these young men. I gave the film 4 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be talking about Marty Supreme and Anaconda. Have a Merry Christmas. See you next time.